the reason they got Dratnos and I out there was to talk about the future of add-ons. Like the first 10 minutes of that was like, here are these two things we're introducing in 11.1.7, but here is what we're planning on doing. And basically they were like, we would like to have DBM in game. Like, hey, you don't need to download DBM. We'll have it available to you, and obviously it'll work and be correct when the patch comes out, because it has to be, because it's made by them, right? It's tied into their fights. There's no weird things that has to be updated for it. We want to remove weak auras that solve fights for you from the game. I don't know of a single person that is like not a fan of that. I don't, there's not a lot of people besides maybe the people who make them that are fans of having weak auras like assign you to everything, right? That sucks. So if they can, and they were very clear about trying to find a way to do that without removing add-ons for the majority of people who aren't in raids, and also not removing weak auras capabilities from just being your UI basically, or being visual, or just changing the way you look at debuffs, right? If you can figure that out. Now, he said this was going to take a long time. We also had a lot of talk off camera about like, one thing that I mentioned to them was like, hey, when you guys mentioned private auras, I had a meeting that day with smart add-on people telling me every single way they could break this. Oh, they're going to do this? We can just do this. Oh, they're going to make this not show up? We could use a macro. We could, you know, there's people who are really, really fucking smart. So the one thing I told them was like, hey, if you're ever thinking about testing this, before you push it to PTR, before you push it live, hire these people as consultants. And I can tell you some of them who they are. I didn't do that, but like if you guys need to know, I can tell you who. And before you end up pushing it live and I have to have that conversation of how we can break it, you guys should just tell them what you're doing. They will tell you how to break it and then fix that before you push it live, because that will save you a ton of time in troubleshooting, is to just consult all the really smart people about how they're going to break your rules and have them fix it before it comes out. So that was a huge W. Also, they mentioned damage meters, and I thought that was really interesting. They're like, we would like to have damage meters in games. I think just the entire concept of damage meters in MMOs, or really any live service game, or really any game, is like really fascinating. Because like some games intentionally don't have a damage meter, and I think they have a really good reason to do it. And I totally get the kind of environment they're trying to cultivate. Because like if you have one, there's just inevitably going to be like people who play the game only for those reasons, and they're kind of insufferable, like low key. They also can make the casual player feel anxious, which is the majority of your player base, and you don't want to do that, right, if you're a game. But also, I think that those people are going to show up anyway, and they're going to find a way to do that and exclude people. So like having that information readily available instead of having to download an add-on, like basically, why not put it in the game? Because everyone has it anyway. So like, what are we doing here? You know, like I think the main reason for doing this is lowering the amount of things on the checklist for a new or returning player to actually have to do to be able to log in and play the game. Like even the cooldown manager wasn't launched in a good state, but the idea of a cooldown manager, which is basically to do the like little add-on pack in the middle of your screen where you can see all your buttons and stuff without having to download an add-on to do that, is a very good thing, right? If only default Blizzard's UI aesthetic wasn't hideous. There's a strong pattern of things being released from Blizzard, basically everything. It's not even specific to like a genre of change, but almost everything they've released, if you were to just look at a snapshot of when it's released versus when it is 6 months or a year from then, it's just like a way better thing. So I go into most, maybe I'm an optimist, but I just go into most things being like, I just expect things to come out kind of shitty, but I also expect them to be good in like within an expansion.